I should have had you wear double condoms. Well, we shouldn't have done it in the first place, but if you ever do it again, which is a favor to women everywhere, you should not. But if you do, you should be wearing condom on condom and then wrap it in electrical tape. You should just walk around always inside a great big condom because you are shit!
Inside Llewyn Davis is a film that came out in 2013 and is written and directed by the Coen brothers. So Inside Llewyn Davis, I'm watching and reviewing this film because it's a $50 patron request from my good man Jesus Perez, which y'all know as Perry. He's been consistently a $50 patron ever since I put up a Patreon, and in real life he's seriously one of my best friends, and I appreciate that man so much. I've also have a ton of reviews with him as well. If you haven't really checked him out, go check him out. I believe the most recent one I did was Another Round or The Climb, either one. But yeah, and I'm really glad that Perry requested this film, because this is a film that I've been meaning to watch for such a long time. When it first came out in 2013, you know, I really didn't know that much about film. I mean, I was definitely into it by then, but I just didn't know a lot about filmmakers. And, you know, when I saw the trailer for this film, I guess at the time it didn't really intrigue me as much. At least it didn't captivate me as much to go out and see it. So I kind of skipped it. And, you know, obviously as the years went by, I figured out that it was a Coen Brothers film. And after I have watching more Coen Brothers films, it was obviously put in my radar on a much more stronger scale. But I just never got around to watching it. And now with Perry's request, now I finally had the real excuse to watch it, and not only watch it, but, you know, give my thoughts about it to you guys. So, Inside Llewyn Davis stars Oscar Isaac, which is an actor that I think has tons of talent. I think this is a really talented guy. I think probably my favorite role from him is probably his character in Ex Machina. Like, I just can't help but love him as that character. He really sells that role. Carey Mulligan was also in this film, which I had no idea, so that was a pleasant surprise. I recently watched her in Promising Young Woman. If you want to hear my thoughts on that, I have a review on that as well. But she was great in this film when she was in it. So my thoughts in general about this film, it kind of took me a while to build up to that. That was kind of weird. But my thoughts on Inside Llewyn Davis, in a nutshell, is that I think this is kind of one of the more overlooked works of the Coen brothers, because I find it to be quite amazing. There is tons about this film that I really loved and enjoyed. This was a much more engaging film than I expected, because essentially from start to finish, this film is absolutely entertaining. And a lot of that is because of just how well written the dialogue is and how well acted it is. The Coen brothers are not only excellent directors, but I feel like their writing is just top notch. It's arguably even more impressive than their directing overall. But, of course, the writing in this film is absolutely sharp. And also just the way they write their characters, especially the main character in this film, played by Oscar Isaac, Llewyn Davis. His character is really, really frustrating. But you still just can't help but be really interested in his character throughout this film. Even though he does some really just unforgivable things at some points in this film, you still just can't help but see what happens to this guy. Like, there's not a part where you kind of just check out and you're just like, oh, I don't really care about him anymore. You know, he's just too much of an asshole, so I don't really care. This film manages to still kind of make you want to know how this character is going to end up and where he's going to end up. And I think that takes some really great writing and also, you know, really good acting. But that's one thing about this film that I really, really loved, because no matter how douchey he gets, you still never check out, and you're still really invested in this character and in the story, because he's a character that's really cynical and at times just really can't let go of his own ego and his own self-righteousness. But at the same time, he has moments of just being human. And that's one thing I really appreciate about this film overall, is that this is a really human film, probably the most human Coen Brothers film that I've seen this far. And they use that approach to this film to really tell something that is honest about a starving artist and just humanity in general. And I also love that they use that as an avenue to explore folk music, because that's kind of like the perfect genre of music that you could kind of tell this grounded human tale with. And I love the way folk music was explored in this film, by the way, because it shows you all the different shades of it and all the different approaches to it. And there's this one scene with Adam Driver, by the way. He's only basically in this one scene, but the scene that he's in is just, it's absolutely hilarious. But yeah, I love the choice of using folk music as this musical center point of the film. Because folk music in its nature is something that is very rooted to reality, something that's very down to earth, something that's incredibly human. So I think it explored that really well. And it honestly explores it so well that I can see somebody who isn't into folk music at all coming out of this film having a deeper appreciation for it, because it really demonstrates the soulful nature of it. And I think that can really appeal to anybody. And I love the opening scene to this film as well, because the opening scene to this film basically shows Oscar Isaac getting beat up. And when that first happens, you're just kind of like, damn, like, who did he piss off? That seems a little over the top and harsh. And then, like, by the end of the movie, it kind of comes back to that scene, and then you kind of think to yourself, he definitely deserved that. But I love how the film kind of comes full circle in that way. And by the end of it, in my opinion, it kind of demonstrates that even though you go through so many hardships and you struggle so much as a starving artist, and you just have to jump through so many hurdles, and you never have really any real stability in your life, if you truly love it and you're just incredibly passionate about it, it's something that you just feel like you can't give up, even though every intellectual thought in your mind is telling you to just give it up and to just do something more stable and normal. And I really love how that was demonstrated by the kind of melancholy ending to this film, I guess is the way you would describe it. And by the way, the cat in this film, or I guess I should say cats in this film, are absolutely adorable. I love the way that they're incorporated into the film, because when I first saw the trailer, I was like, why does he have like a cat with him? And then the way the film basically makes it to where he has to have the cat with him, I thought was just a really well executed scenario. And it made a lot more sense now after having seen the film. But yeah, I really enjoyed this film. I think it has excellent writing in terms of both the dialogue and the characters. Oh shit, I even talked about John Goodman. John Goodman's in this film for a short period of time, but when he's in it, he's awesome. He really kills it. I love the dynamic that Oscar and Isaac and him have for a little bit there. Anyway, get back on track. Yeah, excellent writing with the characters and the dialogue. All the acting is really top notch in this film, especially with Oscar Isaac in the main role. And just the choice of music in this film I thought was excellent as well. Again, I just think it was a really great genre choice of folk music to really explore the themes in this film. So I'm going to give Inside Llewyn Davis a strong 8 out of 10.
3, 2, 1 second, please.
Please, Mr. Kennedy.
Yeah, I had no idea this was on Criterion until Perry told me about it. So on the next Criterion sale, I'm definitely going to be on the lookout for this one, because I truly enjoy this film. And if you've been sleeping on this film for a while and just haven't seen it yet, I obviously implore you to check it out, because I think that you won't regret it and you're going to get a lot out of it. Anyways, that's all I got to say about Inside Llewyn Davis. If you really enjoyed what I had to say about it, please give this video a thumbs up and share it amongst your friends. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel to be updated on more film-related content.